What's up, Past the Rock? We've got not a lot of sports to talk about today, so we're going to play a few games instead. This is your midweek show, Past the Rock.
Could one of y'all pass the gosh darn rock? Hey, yo, I'm trying, I ain't lying, and hosting this will be Brian.
Yeah.
Posting like Kobe Bryant,
Yeah.
flying to see the pie.
Yeah.
Hit the hezzy, we got Jesse, opinions get kinda messy. A fan of out of lefties, from football to racing jet skis. He goes silly when he go deep, sheesh, is Zach Zeman. Teaming up with Jack, we stack the whole team, man. Pass the rock, don't stop the shot clock.
Woo.
Smack the slap shot, come on, now let's talk. Pass the, yo, partner, pass the rock. For real.
Boys, our midweek show, we're going to play a couple games today. Got some NBA stuff, mostly, actually, almost all of it. Got a little NBA, a little NFL as well. So, Brian, how you doing down there in New Orleans?
We're all good, all good. Tough loss to the Pacers last night, but we get our chance to play them kind of on a back-to-back tomorrow night. So let's go, Zion.
Can't be me. Can't imagine losing to the Pacers. All right. Zach, how you doing today?
Doing all right. Excited for spring break coming up soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. But for now, time to do some trivia and probably learn something new about the NBA because I feel like I learn something new every time I'm on this show.
I want a cameraman with Zach in Panama City for spring break. I mean, what could be better? What could be better than that?
I guess Cleveland is the new Panama City. So
no, it's not. It's not.
Definitely not. I hear people go to. I don't think people really go to Cleveland for the weather during spring break, but probably nicer than Morgantown.
We're going to see some stuff around Cleveland because we have friends in Cleveland willing to host us. So
nice.
Could be. Maybe I'll learn more stuff there as well. I think we're going to the zoo, so that'll be fun.
Go catch a Cavs game.
I would love to. Maybe I'll have to see how Cavs tickets are doing.
Go see Max Strus in person, the legend.
Yeah.
Let's start off with our first game of the day. So we are going to play a game called Poeltl after Jakob Poeltl. It's like Wordle, but for NBA fans. What's the best layout for this? All right, let's see. So let's play Poeltl. So for today's game, let's see. Let me just zoom it in. Is that good enough?
There you go. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's play today's Poeltl. So we got to guess an NBA player. We can see a silhouette if we need a hint, but for now we'll probably just take it without. So, Zach, who do we want to be our honorary first guess of today's game?
I mean, it could be just about anybody, but you know what? Let's go with, just to start, throw a name out there. Let's start with Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris of the Sixers. So this player is in the East. They are a forward, and they are 6'8".
You nailed the height.
Nice.
Wow, that's huge.
Under the age of 31, above the number 12. So they're either in the Central or the Southeast division. So they're 6'8". Let's try a player who's in the Central. I know Pascal Siakam is right around 6'8". And he is above the number 12, under the age of 30. All right, he is exactly 6'8". So yellow means it's close. So this guy's under 29, but probably 28 or 27 in the Central Division. So we got Pacers, Bucks,
Bulls,
and who else is in that division?
Pacers, Bucks, Bulls, Cavs.
The Hawks are Southeast.
And
Cavs
and Pistons.
All right, let's try. Pistons. No, everyone there's too young, I think. What about
28 years old is assuming around 28 years old, probably, right? Isn't it like
it could be 27?
28 or 27
What's
years
one of the
old?
young guys on the Cavs forward?
Like Isaac Okoro or like.
Okoro's not a bad guess, but he might be a little too young.
Let's go. Let's see Isaac. I think he is too young, but let's see if he's. So it's not the Cavs. He's 6'5", and yeah, he's too young. So under 35, above 12.
So we got Bulls, Pistons, and Bucks.
The Bulls. Patrick Williams, I think, is older than that.
I think that's a pretty good guess, Patrick Williams. I'm not sure.
I think he's older. or I don't think he's old enough to be that, but what do we think? Patrick Williams, forward?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll know if it's either the
We'll know if
Bucks.
it's the Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Patrick Williams, come on down. No.
Whoa.
Oh my God, is not. All right, he's 6'7". Yeah, he's only 22.
His number
Wow.
was too high.
His number is way too high. He's
Way too young.
just a little too short. But we know now that it's either
Pistons
the
or
Bucks or
Bucks.
the Pistons. Pistons or Bucks.
Pistons. Who else do they even? The Pistons front court is all young though. It's like Duran, Isaiah Stewart, Bagley. No, Bagley's on Washington now.
Chris Middleton's 30. Not Chris Middleton.
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis, yeah.
I like Bobby Portis.
30?
Let's see, Bobby Portis, come on down. Oh my God,
Not Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
It's the
Okay, wow,
Pistons.
we guessed every Central team except for the
It
Pistons.
is the Pistons.
It's the Pistons. Oh boy.
6'8". Who is? They traded like Bogdanovich, and they traded.
Yeah, I was going to say him
Yeah, that
early,
makes it
but
harder.
Alex
he's a
Burks
Knick.
as well. They traded.
Is Marvin Bagley too tall for this?
He's on Washington now. He got traded.
Oh, Jesus. I thought that was a good guess.
what
Who the hell could
about-
it be? Do they have someone just like a Mason Plumlee sitting on the edge of the bench or something? Like,
Fontecchio?
is it Simone Fontecchio? He just went there from the Jazz. That's not a bad
I
idea.
have that's like 3 Pistons.
Bang! Well done.
There we go.
Oh my God.
He's 28. Wow, I thought he was younger. Simon
I thought he was like
Simone
20.
Fontecchio. Wow.
Wow.
All right, that
great.
was all right.
I-
We could have done better, but
I did work the Pelicans Pistons game this year, so
that was close. All right.
or no, it was the Jazz. He was still in the Jazz back then.
Bang. All right, that was fun.
Okay.
We can only play one, I believe, because I think you just get the
One per
daily,
day. Yeah.
one per daily.
Can we
But
see how we did against the?
against the world?
Yeah,
No, I think that's just the stats. I don't know if
That's
I
just
imagine
hard.
getting it in 6 isn't great if there's 8 guesses. So let's go to our next game. So, what's it called? So, can you complete the ultimate roster? So let's play the ultimate roster fantasy game. We've got to find the players with the most points that have played for a Pennsylvania-based team in the last 10 seasons. So stats from any other team do not apply. Zach, this one's going to be a big day for you. So
What a luck.
Eagles and Steelers only.
To me, the immediate lock out of this list is likely going to be for tight end being Zach Ertz. I think over the time period given, he probably has the most overall stats out of either team. I can't think of a notable tight end for Pittsburgh that would match Ertz's production in this time period. So to me, that is a lock.
Is
Yeah.
it from one? Is it for all 10 seasons?
It's from 2014 to 2023. So
Right. I didn't know if it was just that they had to play at that time.
yeah,
and
that's
then
like
the
prime
season.
time for Zach Ertz. The Steelers definitely
Yeah.
didn't have any consistent enough tight end between Ebron and Jesse James and
Mhm.
any of those guys. The
Right.
hard part, so this for quarterback, I want to say it's going to be Ben Roethlisberger, but also like Jalen Hurts has had some really high scoring fantasy seasons the last like 2-3 years.
Mhm.
And Roethlisberger was trailing off a bit towards the end. However, I think you still have at least 7 or 8 good years of Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when did Ben retire? That's the real question. I forget. Did he-
2020, 21, I think.
So
if
you've
he
had 2
retired-
seasons of Pickett.
It's not
And
Pickett. It's not.
no,
to
no,
me-
no. I'm trying to get to how many
Yeah.
seasons Roethlisberger played. Yeah, no, please.
You
Let's
had
guess
the one. They had the one season where it was like Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges like going back and forth. I think.
Yeah,
But
Duck Hodges.
I think is there a chance that it's a Philly quarterback that's not like there's not like Michael Vick or like
The
No,
only
it's
the
really-
thing is with it starting in 2014, it's the end of the small Michael Vick era in Philadelphia, and then you kind of had a bit of a quarterback limbo in
you have
2015.
Wentz and
Yeah.
Foles.
2016, you have Wentz and then Foles, and then Hurts. So none of them have been there long term enough to be above Ben Roethlisberger. So I think it has to be Big Ben.
Yeah. Ben retired in 21, so we got like 7-8 years at least of pretty good Ben. So
Right.
These last three are really hard because I don't think it can be Deshaun Jackson because he didn't spend a lot of this time with the Eagles. I think Antonio Brown might be one of our two receivers here.
definitely.
Just because of,
Yeah.
he had his, I think he was a rookie in 2013. Like this is right where all of his stats were from 2014 to I think he
Yeah.
stopped playing in 2021.
Yeah.
I think one of these two, either a wide receiver or a flex, one of them has to be Antonio Brown.
For sure. I don't know if there's going to be for Eagles receivers, AJ Brown hasn't been there any amount long enough.
Yeah, to
And
me, I don't
Not going
think
to be like Alshon Jeffrey or
I don't think there's an Eagles receiver. I think it's more likely that we have no, I don't think LaShawn McCoy was there for past.
I was going to say LaShawn McCoy might be the running back though.
I don't
Yeah.
think he is. I think it's more likely to be Le'Veon Bell.
Flex. Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell.
I'm pretty sure McCoy got traded in 2014 or 15. So he
How
didn't
many
spend
years
much of his
was-
time period with the Eagles.
Yeah, how many years? I was gonna say, how many years was he with the Eagles?
McCoy was drafted
Not-
in 2009 and played until 2020. I do think around the 16 or 17 mark was when he was on Buffalo.
Yeah, he was traded during the Chip Kelly era, which would be I think he was either traded in 2014 or 2015. So
Yeah.
I think there's a very good chance that their running back is Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say Bell. Or is there any outside chance that there is a different Eagles running back during those years?
Not really.
It was
I mean,
Jay Ajayi for a year, and then it was
so in my head, there's no Eagles running back that stayed consistent enough besides Miles Sanders that would be able to make this
Corey
list.
Clement.
So after McCoy, you have a bit of a carousel of running backs with LeGarrette Blount, Jay Ajayi, DeMarco Murray was around this time.
He was. He was offensive player of the year on the Cowboys,
and then he
2014,
sucked for the
And then he
Eagles,
was an Eagle.
But you didn't have any consistency until Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was here for 3 years, and now you have DeAndre Swift. So I think
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell is the easy answer because he was consistently Pittsburgh's running back for a
Yeah.
good 4 or 5 years.
We have
He
we
was
have one
PPR
Eagle.
god.
One
I
Eagle.
think.
and
All
two
right.
Eagles.
So for the last one, for the flex, the options. So the only options here really that stick out, for a flex, it's got to be is there a chance that there's a different Steeler receiver? Deontay Johnson has had a couple huge
Yeah.
PPR years.
Yeah.
I know he's only
Antonio
been around
Holmes
for a
is too
few.
old.
Yeah.
I mean,
Juju, but Juju was only 2 years, 2 or 3.
Juju was only 2 years. Since it's pure fantasy numbers, there's a small chance that it could be
Najee,
AJ Brown.
no.
Small
Alshon
chance it could be
Jeffrey.
AJ Brown. Could be Alshon Jeffrey, but I'm not banking on that because I'd say
Alshon
AJ
Jeffrey
Brown.
at least played.
Alshon 2012 to 2020, but I don't know what other teams.
He wasn't an Eagle the whole time.
He was an Eagle
he's
for
a Bear,
2,
right?
3 years. He was an Eagle for 3 years, and I think
That's it.
yeah, in my mind, I feel like AJ Brown with his 2,000-yard seasons might have already eclipsed that, but I could be wrong.
Who was before Jeffrey? Was that the
Macklin, Jeremy Macklin.
Yeah, but
Jeremy
before
Maclin.
Jeffrey was Deshaun and Jeremy Macklin, but Macklin.
Oh, Deshaun
That-
Jackson. We forgot Deshaun Jackson.
No, we didn't. I said
not?
he was like a Redskin at this time. He wasn't an Eagle. He was on the Washington football team or whatever they were called at the time.
I think what we're saying is 2014 to 2023, not the best Eagles run here.
No, not at all.
No, really
but
not.
the biggest reason for there not being any Eagles besides Zach Ertz on this list is because Chip Kelly, when he was coach of the Eagles in 2014, decided to dismantle the roster and try to build it his way, which did not work out. So you have guys like LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, Michael Vick, who would all get consideration if this was another 10 years back. But
Yeah, who was Carson Wentz throwing to? That was Alshon Jeffrey.
Alshon Jeffrey, Jordan Matthews, shout out Jordan Matthews,
Yeah.
but mostly Zach Ertz, and that's why Zach Ertz is a lock on this list.
So what do we think is higher? 2 years of AJ Brown or 5 years of Deontay Johnson?
Ooh, probably Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson had no touchdowns last year. He had like 900 yards, but he had 0. His first 2-3 years in the league, he had a couple touchdowns, and then he had like I think 2,000-yard seasons, and then the last 2 years it was like 800 and like 750. So he's close. Like I think in his like 5 years, he has like 4,000 something yards, which is definitely more than AJ Brown does over the last 2 seasons. But
It is, but I mean,
like it's Deontay Johnson though. Like, is he really the best guy of the last 10 years? It's not part of the big 3 for the Steelers and Zach Ertz.
Yeah, I mean, has he ever been a top 10 fantasy?
He was like top 12, top 14,
okay.
but just like because of PPR, just like he had like over 100 receptions, 1,000 yards. Like
as much as I want to be proven wrong, I think the correct answer actually is Deontay Johnson. Having 5 years compared to 2 in this category, I think is big, and especially since he was a pretty solid fantasy receiver. If he had 2 seasons of top 12 production, then it's like, I mean, 2 years top 12 production plus 3 additional.
Is there any chance that James Conner had a long enough stretch with the Steelers or no?
What was that? 4 or 5 years? Max?
It wasn't long, and he spent like 4 years there, and he was hurt for some of it though.
Yeah, his rookie year, he was still dealing with cancer, and
I feel like he only had like 1 or 2 really productive seasons in Pittsburgh. I'm still leaning Deontay.
Played.
All right, let's just run.
So Antonio Brown left because Juju was the lead receiver for a year or 2. Who else played with Antonio Brown other than Juju?
It was like Martavis Bryant, and like
it was Martavis Bryant.
Oh, Martavis Bryant,
and Emmanuel Sanders, Martavis Bryant, and Mike
Emmanuel
Wallace.
Sanders is interesting.
Mike
I don't
Wallace
think he's the answer,
too.
but yeah.
Mike Wallace.
I think we should just run Deontay. I guess.
I think this is probably our team, but let's see what happens.
I don't know. The only other thing that just tripped me up was Mike Wallace when I just thought of him, but screw it. Let's run it. Bang! Oh! No way.
Nice.
Tell me we got it. It's all A pluses. I don't know if it's optimal. Let's see.
Let's see if it's optimal.
We got it optimal. Let's go.
We got it.
Oh my god.
For the first time. Oh my god. Let's
go Eagles. Jeez.
No Eagles, basically.
Wow.
Let's go.
I know.
I would have loved to see who else there was the options for.
Yeah,
the flex.
what's the close?
Can we click and see like what other options there were?
That's just what it shows.
Yeah.
The results. We got it, baby. Let's go.
Is there anything with the optimal?
Funny.
Like things like that. Now you can't.
That is the optimal. That doesn't change because we
did
got it perfect.
We know ball, guys. We did it. We know
Let's
ball.
go. Finally.
Hey, great job, Zach, on having the psyche to say, I can't put too many Eagles. I can only put 1 in here.
Oh, this one's perfect, Brian. This one's for you. So
here we go.
Let's complete the ultimate roster. Must have been an NFL teammate of Drew Brees, the most fantasy points from 1970 and on, but the only stats that count are all career stats will count even while on other teams. They just had to cross paths with Mr. Brees. So
you can't pick Drew Brees, it says.
Yeah.
All right.
Brian.
Quarterback seems pretty easy.
Who do you think?
Well, wasn't he when he was on the Chargers? Did he overlap with Phillip Rivers?
He did. He did overlap with Phillip Rivers and Doug Flutie, actually. But Doug
the other
Flutie
option is Jameis Winston.
You got Jameis Winston. You have Mark Brunell. Mark Brunell was his backup in New Orleans for a spell, who had a long career in Jacksonville.
I still think our pick has to be Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it's Phillip Rivers.
Just like the amount of career that he has, 16 years. So that's long.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. So I know that his most successful wide receiver together was Marquise Colston, but I don't know how many career points Marcus Colston has outside of.
Well, so this is where it gets into real gray area. Des Bryant was signed by the Saints, and in his second practice tore his Achilles. So
did they ever play a game together?
He never played a game.
Yeah. Oh.
But it just says must have been an NFL teammate of Drew Brees.
That's sketchy.
I'm just throwing that out there. Antonio Brown came for a visit, but never signed.
No.
But
I
yes,
also
Marcus
think
Colston.
if we're
Breeze
thinking,
is not known for playing with quality wide receivers.
No, I like
No.
Michael Thomas is an option, but I don't
Yeah,
know who has better career stats between him and Colston. I would think Colston.
Colston.
like-
Colston's the leading.
Like Thomas had
receiver in
the one
everything.
huge season. Like he had that one huge year when he
He
they
probably
broke
had
the
a
reception record.
3-season span with Breeze where he was over 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. But Colston, he leads the Saints in total touchdowns, receiving, and receiving yards and all that.
Are there any other vets like Ted Ginn or like any other guys like that could be
Ted
really
Ginn's
high?
interesting. I don't think he's the answer, but he's interesting.
He was a
that's the
Saint at
thing.
the very end, right? Oh
he
my
was a
God! What
Saint,
about
yeah.
like Adrian Peterson? Wasn't he? Was he on
Adrian
the
Peterson
Saints?
was a teammate, so running back wise, I was thinking running back wise, you got him, you got Deuce
Kamara.
McAllister, you got Kamara.
Kamara's got a
then-
lot of fantasy points just because of PPR.
if we're talking running back, it has to be LaDainian Tomlinson.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Does it have to be over Adrian Peterson?
That might be the 1-2 punch.
That can
the
be our running back and
flex.
flex right there. That's a 1-2 combo for
So
running back and
how
flex. I think
long
not
was
terrible.
Breeze,
better option.
how long was he a Charger for, Breeze?
Like
LaDainian
3
Tomlinson?
years, 4 years.
Yeah.
But you get the whole
So
career.
Adrian Peterson though played 14 years, whereas LaDainian only played 10. But like
Well,
LaDainian
but
also
LaDainian
had 31
was like-
touchdowns in a season. And
dude,
Yeah,
they
he
can
was
both be
stupid.
on here. Those are running back and
Yeah.
a flex.
I know,
I'm
but
telling
you do get points for putting it in the right order. So
Oh, what gets more points?
like if you put the guy who's RB1 in the flex spot, you don't get the perfect
Mm.
score. So we do have to be
Oh.
intentional about that.
I would probably put Adrian Peterson in the RB1.
Like I know he
I
played
agree.
longer, but also like 5 of those seasons were like on the
Yeah.
Lions and like the Commanders and like
they were
weird-
both the running back, like in their heyday.
I
of 5 and 6
honestly
years.
think that because I'd say of his last 5 years in the league for Adrian Peterson, 3 of them were completely forgettable. I think LaDainian Tomlinson might be the RB1 in this, and Peterson RB2.
He did though have a sneaky year in Washington one year.
That's the
Um,
one year I'm thinking of where it's that was an older Adrian Peterson.
He was a
who
Saint at the
earned
beginning.
my
and then got
Eagles, but
traded.
he was good.
Yeah.
AP
Yeah.
was good with the Commanders.
I don't know. I think you got to go LT as the RB1.
Yeah, I was
Now
just
that I'm
looking
thinking
at it.
about
So Adrian Peterson did have a 1,000-yard year with the Commanders in 2018.
Yeah.
It was just really
Yeah.
random. Then he played for the Saints, Cardinals, Lions, Titans, Seahawks in like a 4-year span.
Yeah.
So LaDainian
that's
Tomlinson, I think,
essentially
has
nothing.
more touchdowns, and I think Peterson has more yards, but like you get more points for touchdowns. So I think we can probably say LT had multiple 20 touchdown seasons, and
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson had that 2,000-yard year, but like never really had a lot of other huge seasons. So let's put
Yeah.
LaDainian
Let's go Tomlinson.
one,
Yeah.
and Adrian will be our flex for sure.
So
Tight
let's
end,
do
Jimmy
tight end,
Graham.
then wide
Jimmy Graham,
receiver.
or
So
did he play
Jimmy
with
Graham?
Gates? Did he play with Gates?
Yeah, I think
Antonio
he
Gates,
did. Or he
03?
absolutely did.
Oh,
I think
Then
Gates
it's-
is the answer.
Then it has to
That's
be
not even
Antonio
close.
Gates. Yeah,
has to be.
So then wide receiver.
unless
Okay, let's
he
just go through it again.
somehow played with Rob Gronkowski or something, or like
Well,
Travis
he
Kelce.
didn't play with Gronkowski, but he played with Jeremy
So
Shockey.
Jimmy
played
Graham
with-
though, like I know Jimmy Graham had that one 16 touchdown year with Breeze, I think. So you had
but Antonio Gates had 5 of those.
I know. So it's definitely got to be Gates. So we'll
Yeah.
leave Gates in there. Wide receiver, I think it's probably Colston. Is there a chance that there was someone on the Chargers like a Vincent Jackson or someone else?
Vincent
What's-
Jackson did play with him,
But didn't he
uh,
didn't
What
he
was
leave?
his-
They played.
Yeah, Vincent Jackson didn't. I don't think he had the stats of Colston.
He was a Charger. When
Yeah,
did Breeze leave the Chargers?
Breeze left. I
Oh,
want to
06 was his first year with the Saints.
06?
So,
Because
02
Vincent Jackson
to
was only
05.
drafted in 05. So it's
Yeah.
But I mean, it is career.
doesn't
stats.
matter. You
Like,
get
he
his whole
doesn't even
career.
have 10,000 yards in his
Right.
career, so I don't think it's him.
Yeah, Colston has more. So you got Devery Henderson, you got Colston.
Is there a
you
chance
have-
that like Darren Sproles could have been on here somewhere? Like
Well,
not
I
more
mean,
than
he's
LT
a
or
running back,
Peterson,
so
but
no.
yeah, no.
Believe me,
No,
I thought of Darren Sproles, and I was like, well, he never really. He didn't.
I
put
would have
up
gone
the
Kamara over
fantasy
him.
stats. Yeah, Sproles did not put up fantasy stats, but he you watch his tape and you're like, oh, this guy was really good, but he didn't put up like fantasy numbers.
Are there any other really good Chargers receivers from like back in the day that like he never
God,
crossed, he never played with Keenan Allen, obviously. So
No, I think
Way
Antonio
later.
Gates sucked up so much of the stats that you're probably not going to have an unless somebody was a rookie in like 05. But that's like Vincent Jackson, so I don't think they could have.
all right,
something
I
off.
think that Marcus Colston is around the same as Vincent Jackson, and like they both played like
Yeah,
similar. Like I think they both have
10
around
years. Yeah,
10,000 yards in their career.
I'm just trying to think if the Saints signed some random, wide receiver that played a
yeah,
year.
like if Des Bryant counts or
if Des Bryant had actually played one game.
like Steve
but he
Smith was
hasn't.
never a Saint, right?
No,
Like-
no. That would have been great. I mean, Breeze is known for not having great wide receivers. Like
Yeah.
he makes it happen anyway. But I'm trying to think if there was some weird veteran signing.
Yeah, I'm trying.
But Des Bryant is like the closest I can think of.
Yeah.
So the question is, does that count or does that not?
I don't think it will. I personally don't think that it would count on this. So let's rip Marcus Colston and
All
let's
right.
see how it goes. Oh, not perfect. So Colston is wrong. He's the A here. Let's see who the optimal was. If it's Vincent Jackson, I swear. Keenan
McCardle.
McCardle. Wow. We got
At the
everything
end of
else
his
right,
career.
though. LT had 700 more points than Peterson. Gates actually has more than Adrian Peterson does. That's
That's
wild.
insane.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
so
PPR.
much for a tight end, and
Yeah.
everything else was right. I've actually never heard of Keenan McCardle.
How,
I don't know.
how
Oh,
close
yeah.
were the points? How close were the points between the wide receivers?
So 2,400, 2,100. So we were
Yeah.
decently close. I think
Keenan
Colston-
McCardle was awesome with Mark Brunell and the Jaguars, and then ended his career in San Diego at the time.
nice. All right, hey, that was close. That was fun. So
Pretty cool.
Brian, why don't you take us to
Nice.
our next game?
Yeah. A little NBA Finals 6-pack of trivia questions. Zach, are you ready?
I guess I'm ready.
All
Yeah,
right.
Good.
The first 3 of these questions, you're going to tell me the year and the matchup. Okay.
Ooh.
So, when was the last time the San Antonio Spurs made the NBA Finals? Let me repeat that. Just
Easy.
when was the last time the San Antonio Spurs made the NBA Finals?
I'm gonna say it was the 2014 NBA Finals.
Against?
The Heat. 2014 NBA Finals against the Miami Heat.
Jess? Any?
Do I also answer? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely-
yeah. We
it's-
can both answer. You
it's
can work
definitely
together.
Oh, it's 100% 2014 against the Heat.
That is correct. Good
Ooh.
work. I was
Kawhi
trying to find a
Leonard,
team
Finals
that didn't make
MVP.
it in the last 3.
For some reason, I thought it was
okay.
Frank Gibson for a second too.
I wasn't sure if it was against me against Zach because you only asked Zach. So I
Yeah, you
wasn't
asked
sure.
me, and I was like, "Huh, okay."
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to know if he was ready.
I'm ready.
Can you name the last Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
Ooh.
Oh, it was not last year for sure. They only went 6. Celtics also lost in 6. It was the Bucks. The Bucks closed. No, the Bucks also won in
that was in
6.
6. That was in 6.
The Lakers
Was
also
that-
beat the Heat in 6, I think.
Yep. Yeah, Lakers won in 6.
The Raptors won in 6. Wow, lots of 6.
Is
Yeah.
this really?
Is it
past Warriors
2016?
2016.
2016. The Cleveland Cavaliers over the Warriors. Good job.
Wow, that's we
Way to
really
work
haven't
it
had
back.
a Game 7 in the finals in
It's-
Yeah.
8
God,
years.
it's been 8 years since we've had a Game 7.
And
in
really,
the
that
finals.
one, that's a 3-1 comeback that probably shouldn't have
Wow.
ended up having a Game 7.
And if you go
All right.
even back before that, it's even further. I think you go all
You
the way
wanna do
back to
that?
like.
I have the list up.
Well, I was
if you wanna
thinking
go
if you
before that.
go even further than that, I would think it's 20 2013 when the Heat won, when they came back.
Against who?
The Spurs.
Yep. That is correct.
That's when Ray Allen hit the shot in Game 6 that saved them, and then they won in Game 7.
Yep. All right. Can you name the last sweep in the NBA Finals?
Ooh, the
2018 Warriors.
Over?
Cavs.
Okay, that was a lot easier. It's interesting to me how much, like, between 82 and 2000, I know everything, and then I don't know, I just stopped paying that close attention.
That's where we come
and then
in.
obviously you guys pick up the slack. So, all right, I have been revisiting the Michael Jordan documentary on Netflix. So here's a little Chicago Bulls question for you. Can you name the 5 teams the Bulls defeated in the NBA Finals? Yes, I know they won 6, but they only beat 5 teams.
Ooh.
Utah Jazz.
Yep.
Utah Jazz
Yep,
won.
who they beat twice.
Didn't they beat? I want to say they beat the Supersonics in one of their finals.
They did. Gary Payton, the glove.
Yep.
They beat was it the Trailblazers in one of them?
Yeah, that was the famous shrug game when Michael Jordan just couldn't miss.
Yeah. Who else?
2 left. Both of these 2 were from the first 3 championships.
Was one of them the Houston Rockets?
No.
No, did they never play Clyde?
Was one of them? Oh, one of them was the Lakers. That was MJ's first.
Yep, they beat the Lakers in the first, 1991.
Always
so you got
remember
one
the
left.
first.
1993.
Mm.
Oh, 93.
I know this. I know this. I remember from the documentary as well. Because Charles Barkley won the regular season MVP. MJ won the finals MVP against Charles Barkley's Suns.
Yep.
Sir Charles.
Thank you, Last Dance, for providing me that knowledge.
Can you name the other time that happened in a Bulls championship where the opposing team's best player won the regular season MVP and Jordan won the finals MVP?
Was it Karl Malone?
Yeah, I was about to say.
It was the mailman, Karl Malone. And that pissed me off, as he says. All right. Awesome. All right. So let's go a little sooner in history and say, can you name the 5 teams that Kobe beat in the NBA Finals for his 5 championships?
Celtics.
76ers.
76ers, Celtics.
They beat the Magic. Oh no,
Yep.
they did.
They did.
That's
correct.
when we didn't get the Kobe LeBron final and Dwight Howard had to.
That was the
Ruin
Dwight
everything.
Howard final, yeah.
They beat the New Jersey Nets
They
in the
did.
finals, and they beat the Indiana Pacers in 2000.
Indiana Pacers. Good work. All right. That's 5 down. This is the real important one. Can you name the 5 teams to have never made the NBA Finals?
Ooh, New Orleans Pelicans.
Thank you, jerk.
Memphis
Charlotte
Grizzlies.
Hornets.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Charlotte Hornets, Memphis Grizzlies. 2 left.
Probably a newer team. No, the Thunder did make it.
They made it.
So the Hornets and Pelicans is 2 separate things,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Yeah, because the Hornets' history up until 2002 is Charlotte. And then everything once they got their team back is Charlotte.
Okay.
And then everything from 2002 here is Pelicans.
I mean, technically
Okay.
the Bobcats, even though they're defunct, Bobcats never made it.
Well, that's the Hornets. That counts as Hornets.
Same
slash
franchise,
Bobcats.
bud.
Still.
I didn't think this one would be so
Give
hard.
me the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento Kings have made the finals.
Oh,
not
were
as
they the
Sacramento
Royals?
Kings. They were Were they the Royals? Yes, I think they were the Kansas City Royals.
That counts. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Wizards / Bullets. Did they make it back in the day?
Bullets have won an NBA championship in the
So
70s.
so the franchise counts as like all the old teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clippers,
The Clippers are correct,
including the Buffalo Braves.
including the Buffalo
Excellent.
Braves and a history of losing.
Yep.
Although that might change this year. We'll have to see.
Yeah. All right, one left.
One
The
left.
Atlanta Hawks the Hawks have won one, right?
Come on,
I
back
don't
in
know
the
if they've won.
50s. Kuzi or
Let me
Pettit,
see.
one of
Let me.
them?
I have the list up.
I want to say Bob Pettit won a ring or something.
The Hawks.
What about
They probably made it.
Pistons have won? Pacers have been in there. Minnesota Timberwolves.
It is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Good job.
Bang,
Yes,
baby.
the St. Louis Hawks lost in 1957 to the Boston Celtics.
How
Yep.
could they?
Yep.
So, yeah, nice work. Nice work. I thought that would be a little easier. So, here's the next question. Clippers or T-Wolves? Who breaks this year?
Clippers.
I'm going Clippers as well.
Yeah, I
Easily.
think it's the Clippers as well. I don't think they end. I think it's going to be the Nuggets and the Celtics, but I think you got that there. All right, Jesse, over to you.
All right, so we just saw some pretty long game winners this week. So, can you name the 8 longest game winning, or can you name the 8 longest game winning buzzer beaters since 2000? So, had to have won the game as time expired since 2000.
Well, I mean, let's get the obvious one out of the way. Max Strus just the other night. What was it? 58 feet, 58 footer.
59-footer from Max Strus against the Dallas Mavericks is good for number 2 ever. So tough luck for the Mavericks. Max Strus.
This one might be number 1 ever. I'm going to go with my glorious king, Devontae Graham, Pelicans.
First time anybody's ever said my glorious king, Devontae Graham. And it's absolutely right. 61 feet against the Oklahoma City Thunder after Shea banked in like a 40-foot shot. So that one is probably one of the greatest ever, and it's definitely the longest ever. Number 1.
I don't know that I could name another one, if I'm being honest.
So the furthest back that we go is 2009. Everything else is in the 2010s.
So has Steph hit one from deep?
Yeah,
I'll just go with
Steph Curry's actually not on here. His deepest, I think, was the one against the Thunder. And that one was, like 30 something feet. So
yeah,
we need the shortest distance on this is 36 feet.
Okay.
Wow.
We got some big shots that you definitely would remember of the last several years, and then there are some other ones that just happened and were kind of random.
Yeah.
One of them actually happened this year.
Oh.
Huh.
It was actually one of the most ridiculous shots I've ever seen a player hit.
Oh, wait, I just remembered one from a couple of years ago. Jeremy Lamb hit that deep shot.
Yes, he did, and he's number 4 against the Raptors. I remember watching that game when I came home and was watching it and just saw the Raptors have won 50-something games that year, and they lost to the Charlotte Hornets on a half-court shot from Jeremy Lamb on a broken play. So, yeah, Jeremy Lamb, number 4. Screw you.
Yep.
It's the worst. Has Luka done it? I'll be the Luka guy.
No, Luka is not on here. Has not done a game-winning buzzer beater from that far.
That just proves this is all.
Although his one against the Clippers, I think in the bubble was like 27, 28 feet. So it was far, but it wasn't really far.
What about Dame Time?
Dame Time versus OKC, number 7 all time. That was 36 feet. That's a bad shot, but it's good for number 7.
My guess.
So you got 3, 5, 6, and 8 left to go.
What about I remember Westbrook hit a game winner from pretty deep.
A perfect ending to a historic night when he beat the Denver Nuggets with his last triple-double that broke Oscar Robertson's record, ended that game with a shot from 36 feet, good enough for number 8 on this list.
Wow.
So, yeah, some big shots.
How many do we have? 5?
So, you got 5. You got 3, 5, and 6 left. So, 3 was pretty iconic shot, 2010. I think the guy who made it was pretty young. I don't know if he was a rookie at the time. Might have been might have been his second year in the league, 2010.
It's probably somebody somewhat random.
It's a little random.
Rajon Rondo.
No.
Good guess.
This one was a 50-footer, so longer than everybody else besides Strus and Devontae Graham.
I'll just throw out Rudy Gay.
No. So this game was between the Sacramento Kings and the Memphis Grizzlies in 2010.
2010.
That's like a young boogie, like around that.
So
era.
DeMarcus Cousins assisted the game-winning shot.
Oh, okay.
He inbounded it to somebody.
2010 Kings.
There's one name, young player.
Oh my God.
He was a Pelican at some point too.
Is this? He played for both of these teams. Is this Tyreek Evans?
It is Tyreek Evans with his
Oh my
half-court
God.
buzzer beater against the Grizzlies. Legendary shot. Tyreek Evans, number 3.
Wow, Tyreek Evans.
That guy was so hard to root for. It's like so great in a lot of ways and so stressful.
Yeah, he was. So yeah, he was a Pelican, a King, a Grizzly, and a Pacer. So good for him. All right, you got 2 left. One of them was this season, and the other one is from 2009. And the 2009 one is probably, of all the shots on this list, one of the craziest, because the guy who shot it kind of double pumped the ball when he shot it. He like went to shoot it and then went down and then shot it again and hit it from half court on the New Jersey Nets.
Oh my God.
What year? You said 09?
09. If you know ball, you should know this guy.
It's too late.
I'm
for
gonna
Keith
try to think
Van
of the this year one. I'm trying to think of this year.
The this year one was, I think it was a 3 that got like banked in
That's cool.
from 39 feet, unassisted.
39 feet.
Oh, unassisted. Okay, let me take those others out of my database.
Yeah.
Um,
In the Western Conference, I'll give you that.
The
It was a
West.
Western Conference in-conference game.
was it Anthony Edwards?
No?
Good guess. Was
It was
De'Aaron
genuinely...
Fox? De'Aaron
No.
Fox?
No, it was one of the most WTF shots you would ever see. And as a defender, you would just like
Yeah,
no
like, what are you
answer
gonna do?
for it. Who's the best at making those type of threes?
Every time Zion makes one, I feel that.
There's one player who, especially in the playoffs last year, just kept making these heartbreaking threes that should not go in with the ugliest form we've ever seen, and they're just straight cash.
Is this
Anthony
is this,
Davis?
Nope.
Is this the Joker?
Oh,
Nikola
It
Jokic?
is
so I was
the
about to say.
Joker right over Anthony Davis. So this year, Nikola Jokic against the Warriors, you might remember, hit a 39-foot shot to win the game. Because why not? He dribbled up, and from about where the coach's line is, he just hucked one and it went in. Good enough for number 6 all time. which is
Can't
just
wait
not
for
talked about.
Wemby to be on this list twice. That's gonna be fun.
Final hint, New Jersey
Twice.
Nets against the 76ers in 09 from 43 feet of the Nets. This guy went to Wisconsin, drafted by the Wizards in 04.
Someone call Jack.
15 years.
Someone call Jack real quick. We need to
I was
get
going
our.
to say Kenyon Martin, but then
No.
that's not.
This guy spent
That's not
15 years in the
Wisconsin.
league, mostly for Dallas, New Jersey, went back to Dallas, and then Denver, Utah.
Wisconsin.
on Wisconsin, as Jack would say.
Marcin Gortat.
This guy is a one-time All-Star. His name
No, he is
starts
an
with a
All-Star.
D. DH are his initials.
DH.
I don't know. We're
Baseball.
terrible.
These guys stink.
You should know this, Zach. I'm kind of sad.
I should know this. I don't
Yeah.
know if my bag is this deep.
It was against the Sixers.
That doesn't
Yeah,
help. I
09,
would,
man. Come on.
Dude, I was 6 years old in 2009. I didn't care about basketball. I was a baseball kid.
Tragic. The final answer is Devin Harris.
Ah,
Mm.
When he
Gross.
look it up, Google it. He hit a
I
half court
believe you.
shot.
I believe you. I knew my bag was
Sickening.
not that deep.
Sickening.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, that was disappointing that you guys couldn't remember good old Devin Harris from half court.
Yep, that's too bad.
All right. So we're gonna go on to our next segment. So we've seen a lot of Victor Wembanyama, and we did Who Would You Rather kind of at the start of the season, but we are pretty deep into the season now. So after 53 games of Wemby, who would you rather have? Wemby or Karl Towns? And this is just going forward. Brian.
Oh, that's Wemby, not even close.
Yeah, it's Wemby easily.
All right, Zach, what about Bam Adebayo?
Wemby easily.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough because you're looking at potentially 15 years of Wemby. Maybe not. Maybe you could argue 12 because of his body type. But yeah, I'm going to take Wemby over Bam.
All right, Brian, what about Zion?
I'm taking Wemby. I mean, I personally
Opposite archetypes, by the way.
yeah, a little bit. I do think Wemby will end up having injury issues, but not nearly what Zion's already had. And there's just too many, Zion's okay on the defensive end, but come on, give me Wemby.
Yeah, this is easily Wemby still.
It's funny, you got the X versus the Y axis. All right, Zach, Domas Sabonis.
Ooh. Domantas Sabonis has been having a really good season, definitely underrated, but Wemby's already becoming a household name in his first season, and I expect that to be the case for the next decade plus. Easily, once again, Wemby.
Yeah, it would. The only player I'm taking over Wemby is someone that has championship experience, because that's about the only thing Wemby doesn't have, or you don't anticipate at least he might have, he might not have, but so give me Wemby.
All right, Brian, what about Tyrese Halliburton?
Wemby. It's easy. Halliburton was awesome last night, has been awesome this year, doesn't have that playoff experience. Therefore, I equate them pretty equally. So give me Wemby. I'll buy his potential.
Yeah, Wemby has so much playoff experience. Zach,
he
what do you
doesn't,
think?
but that means it's not a benefit over Wemby. Therefore, give me Wemby.
Right.
Dude,
Zach?
Wemby is 7'4" and can handle the ball like a guard. It's easily Wemby.
All right, maybe I should just skip a few names. Anthony Davis.
Oh, Wemby.
Come on.
That's
Wemby, and that one's laughable.
All right, what about Zach? Giannis.
Ooh. Here's the big thing with all the current superstars is that like a lot of the current superstars, they're like right around 28, 29, 30, and Wemby's still extremely young. To me, if I'm going from here forward, I want to watch Wemby develop into the superstar that we know he can be. He could be the best player in the NBA. So a lot of the current superstars, I'm taking Wemby over, banking on that future that he has.
If I'm the Bucks and the Spurs offer me Wemby straight up for Giannis, I'm keeping Giannis. He's young enough that I still feel like I can win 3 championships or so over the next 8 years, 10 years. So, and I don't know that about Wemby yet. That's my whole point about the championship experience. So give me Giannis.
Wemby needs to meet with Giannis's trainers and figure out what Giannis did to go from the slim guy to the Greek freak and just, put on a couple 100 pounds of muscle. So I ask you this, Brian, Joel Embiid.
I'm probably going, that one's tough. So Embiid doesn't have the playoff. I mean, he's got playoff experience, but not real playoffs post the first round. This is one, and I hate to say, well, he didn't make it to the finals, therefore I'm picking Wemby, but I'm probably taking Wemby. Giannis, I know, is going to show up in a huge spot. I've seen it over and over again. Joel does that in the regular season. I'm not going to deny that. But what does that matter? So give me Wemby.
I love Embiid. If Embiid brings a ring to Philadelphia, he solidified his case as the greatest Sixer ever, just in my mind. But with that being said, he is too injury prone for me to pick him. I'm going Victor Wembanyama here.
That doesn't make him the best Sixer ever. Not that. I mean,
I'm telling you,
I applaud your voice in this argument, but
he's breaking team records. He already has a legacy with the team, and he's 29 years old. And I can imagine him staying for almost his entire career, if not his entire career. To me, he's a ring away from being definitively the greatest Sixer of all time. But if you told me right now I could get Wemby for him, of course the team right now is built for Embiid, but down the line, 3-4 years, Wemby's going to be the better player anyways.
Dr. J went to 3 finals in 4 years. Okay. So, he only has the 1 championship, but he went to 3 finals in 4 years. Dr. J is the better Sixer. I know this is not the question, but
no.
All right. What about Jason Tatum, Brian?
That one's tough. It's Tatum. I got to stick with what I've been saying. I would definitely take Tatum going forward because I'm telling you, we don't, with Wemby's body type, I can't bet that he's going to be healthy for 12 plus years.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Tatum.
We could see another ball boy come on the court and then his career just is over.
Right. What if somebody storms the court like they did against Caitlin Clark? I mean, he's done.
Yeah. Or, when he's posting up Zion and Zion takes out his knees because that's where he's at. So
there's no way that situation, that would be the most hilarious clash of 2 players in an actual NBA game.
No, the most hilarious clash would be if Jose Alvarado was guarding Wemby.
He goes under his legs to do the Grand Theft Alvarado. That'd be great.
Yeah. Zach, Tatum.
I personally am banking more on what Wemby can be, especially when healthy. I think Wemby at his absolute best in his prime could go down as a top 10, even top 5 NBA player of all time, just based off of what we've seen so far and what his potential could be based on what we expect from rookies developing throughout the years. I expect huge things for Victor Wembanyama, at least individually. So I'm taking Victor Wembanyama pretty easily.
Yeah, that one's tough. All right, we're into our final 3 names. All right, Zach, Wemby or Jokic?
To me, this is probably one of the hardest. This is probably the hardest one we've had so far.
Next 5 years, who would you rather have?
This one's so easy.
Next 5 years, it's Jokic. It's Jokic right now. It's really close.
Brian, is it easy for you in which direction?
Yeah.
In both. It's Jokic either way. Jokic either way. He's absolutely by far the best player in the NBA.
He's a monster.
And you don't know that Wemby ever gets there. As great as he is, you don't know if he gets there. Jokic makes everybody around him 10 times better. He's made great players out of that roster of, some really good playoff players and some others. Give me Jokic.
Nikola Jokic made me give Aaron Gordon his flowers last week.
Yeah.
That should show you how impactful Nikola Jokic is to a franchise. I think this has to be Nikola Jokic.
I mean, yeah, he's 2-time MVP. Maybe he should be 3. Maybe he will be 3. Reigning Finals MVP. I mean, you said, Wemby could get there, but Jokic is there. So that's what it is. All right, Brian, Luka or Wemby?
I'm probably, so if I'm the GM in this situation, I'm probably taking Luka because I think he'll have a longer career, probably maybe even significantly longer. But I gotta do a lot better job than Dallas is than putting good players around him. So, but I'm taking Luka.
Zach,
I mean, it's hard to compare a guard to a center in these kind of things. I think I'm also taking Luka though. What he's been showing this season, if he can keep it up for the next 5 to 8 years, I mean, if you're the Mavericks, you have to give him the pieces to win a championship. You can't just bank on him being like Dirk and finding a way just one random season for a finals run, which is exactly what the Mavericks did. The Mavericks never built well around Dirk Nowitzki. So they're doing the same thing with Luka, and I don't want Luka to end up being underappreciated because he only has one lucky ring. I really hope the Mavericks build better around him because right now he still needs help. And they've gotten him some help, but he still needs help.
All right. Last name on the list. Zach, Shea or Wemby?
Oh, my God. Shea or Wemby is... Again, it is harder because we have one that, one that's a guard, one that's a center. I love
Gun
both
to your
these
head.
players.
Choose one.
I know. I love how both these players are playing right now, but I'm actually going to bank on Wemby here. I think I'm going to lean towards Wemby on this one. It's really hard to pick between these two, but I mean, I think back to I'm taking Luka over Shea, probably in my head. I'm taking Luka over Shea, and kind of with that reasoning, Wemby's also really close with Wemby's below Luka, but I don't think he's below Shea on my list of who I take in the next 5 to 8 years. So again, I'm really banking on his potential, but I'm going to take Wemby.
All right, Brian.
I'm going to have to stick to my guns. Shea doesn't have the playoff experience that I need to take him over Wemby. So I'm going to take Wemby, even though I hate this when he's playing against me. But if Shea's on my team, I love the phantom calls he gets to where he's shooting 30 free throws a night. So, but I'm still taking Wemby.
I think I'm taking Shea on that one. Not only is he still one of the youngest top guys in the league, but also he's on pace to be MVP right now as things stand.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Jokic has a good case for it, and so does Luka, but the Thunder are the first seed in the West, and that does matter when it comes to things like MVP. And he's also averaging 3 steals a game this season or something like that. It's unreal.
I think one of the craziest things, I've been looking up how old these players were, just to get a sense of how far along their careers they are. Shea and Luka are both 25 years old. We still have a lot of years left to watch them, which is it's great for basketball. Mm-hmm. It's great seeing that now we can really see who the next generation of stars is going to be. We know because we have some superstars right now that the faces of the NBA, I'd argue, are Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid are the main in their prime stars of the NBA. If there's anyone else that comes to mind, correct me.
Luka. Yeah.
Luka's part of the
LeBron.
next LeBron always. But I'm saying Luka's part of that next young generation that's they're about to become the true faces of the NBA, and we're seeing it already. They're ahead of schedule. They're already doing great.
Yep. All right. So I think it's tough. I think the only guys I'm taking over Wemby is Jokic, Luka, and Shea. I think everyone else.
To me, it's
not Giannis.
Not Giannis.
Giannis already won his ring. It's
yeah, but that dude is hungry.
I do think so. I don't know if the thing about Giannis, he's hungry, but that's hard. It's yes, but he's also 8 or 9 years older than Wemby. So it's Giannis was a rookie 10 years ago, 11 years ago. He's been in the league for a while. So
yes.
I know that he seems young, but he was drafted in 2013. He's been around.
So Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic are all 29 years old. I believe Wemby is 20.
But Giannis, of those three, Giannis keeps his body, to where he could play more
he's
years.
29 and he was drafted 11 years. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but
yeah.
Damn.
So I mean, in my mind, I'm only taking I'm taking Wemby over everyone, but I'm only taking. Sorry, the only players I'm not taking over Wemby are Jokic and Luka, just because I think they're still like we said, Jokic makes everyone around him better, and Wemby, we don't know if he can do that quite yet, and Luka is just a generational scorer.
Okay, I lied. I'm taking Giannis, but
okay.
Whatever. All right. Well, let's move on to our final thing of the day. So, do we want to decide, are these going to be buzzer beaters or just game winning shots?
Oh, let's say game winning, just because that's how I
Okay.
made my list.
All right.
I did.
So,
I think I have all buzzer beaters on my list, so but it's fine.
well, if there's like 0.6 left or something, it's fine. All right.
Yeah.
Let's draft game winning shots in NBA history. Zach, you've got the first pick. We're each going to select 4.
Oh, my poor heart. This is easily the dagger. It has to be. It's the greatest buzzer beating, game winning, series ending shot that I've ever seen in my life. It has to be number 1.
You didn't even say it.
You didn't say what it was.
I don't have to.
Devontae Graham, we get it. We heard you.
Zach, say the line.
It's the dagger. It has to be the dagger.
Yeah.
Kawhi
I just wanted
Leonard.
to see you say it as a Philly fan.
It's the winner. It's the winner, but just because he fell into the baseline, like that whole situation.
It actually
No,
would have been better if
it's
he
not
fell
even
into
that.
the Sixers
No,
bench.
it's-
Yeah.
It's not even that. Fade away, corner 3, hits the rim 4 times before going in, and then the crowd reaction. It was dead silent as the ball was in the air. There is not a better game-winning shot in NBA history than the dagger.
Jesse, where were you for that?
I was in France at 4 a.m. watching.
By
Outside,
yourself?
I was with 2 of my friends. We were traveling. We were outside of a train station waiting for it to open so we could get on our next train at 4 a.m. watching on my phone
my
like
God.
that. But I will say that moment was probably the single craziest moment ever at the Scotiabank Arena because they won the championship on the road. So that single moment being at home was the best. And Zach, I'm kind of mad that you took it because I thought I was going to get it for free at number 2 overall because I didn't think you had the balls to take it. But unfortunately, you did. So screw you. All right. With mine, I'm going to go with one of the best playoff buzzer beaters ever. Give me Dame time. Bye-bye. See ya, Thunder. That's a bad shot, said Paul George. It went in anyway. Give me Dame time.
Awesome. So I get 2 in a row, and I'm going to start with Michael Jordan over Brian Russell. You can say he pushed off. You can say he did whatever. 6 championships in 8 years and ended it on that one. So give me that. Second round, I have a couple of things I'm thinking about. There's one that I want to take here, but I think will be here next time. So I'm going to save that. So give me future Hall of Fame coach Steve Kerr over the Utah Jazz in 1997 for the Chicago Bulls because Michael Jordan said, "Be ready." And he was.
All right.
I was
I
a
get-
Bulls fan as a kid.
I get another one here. So God, there's actually lots to choose from and lots of really good ones. But I am going to use one of the biggest shots of my basketball fandom history that I've ever seen. Give me Kyrie Irving in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. I know it technically wasn't a buzzer beater, but it was the shot that put them above and won the NBA Finals, completing the 3-1 comeback. Kyrie sidestep 92-89.
All right, I get 2 picks here. Still have a couple of shots that I want to select. Let's start with another Damian Lillard shot. This one being the series winner against the Houston Rockets.
That was a good one.
Mhm.
Lillard, he got the shot off. Ah! Yeah, it was incredible. moment.
Hey! Speaking of Mike Breen, he makes this next shot. Bang!
No.
Oh, what a shot from Curry! Pretty
Dang.
easy selection there. Pretty easy selection.
I thought that one might make it back around to me, and I went with the Kyrie one instead because it was in the finals. But Steph in Game 6 against the Thunder is always a pretty legendary one. Ugh.
Easy pick.
Same.
Pick.
That was, same year.
Fantastic shot, but commentary really made that shot
Yeah.
feel even bigger than it already was.
The Mike Breen double bang is pretty great. All right, so I've got 2.
No, you get 1. You're in the middle.
No, I mean, I have 2. I have 2 more to go.
Oh, right.
Total.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna take one of the several LeBron James shots that you could take from, But the one that I'm actually going to take is from his earlier Cleveland Cavalier days against the Magic way back in 2009 in, I think, game 1 of the NBA Finals to win it. LeBron for 3. Yes. Just such a great classic call. Beating the Magic in game 1 of the finals. I mean, sorry, not game 1 of the finals, game 1 of the Eastern Conference, playoffs. Or I
Was
think
that when he like made it and ran right into the locker, like down the locker room?
Yeah, it was a great matchup over Hedo Turkoglu in game 1 of the series. And yeah, I mean, phenomenal shot, ran off the court. To me, that's LeBron's best. But I know he has a few other ones, but that's his best buzzer beater.
Yeah, agreed. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going back to the Bulls because they're just the best. So I'm going to take Michael Jordan over Craig Elo and the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 1, game 5. I think it was 89. All I know is I was in my elementary school. It was late in the school year, and we were watching an NBA playoff game in the afternoon at school when he hit that shot.
Wow.
And because back in the day, those games actually happened in the afternoon, not, at 11 o'clock at night Eastern. He makes that, the fist pump, and here we go. Bulls are gone. My last one, and this is one I was worried y'all were going to pick, but maybe it's too old and you just don't remember it. But Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry, against the Sacramento Kings in 2002. One of the best series I've ever watched. I was hard rooting for the Kings because I always hated the Lakers. And Big Shot Bob just put him to sleep. 2002 LA Lakers.
On my list. That was on my list. That was a good one. That was on my list.
Ooh, all right. So I could go in so many directions with my last one. Honorable mention to OG Anunoby in game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals against Boston, or Eastern Conference semis against Boston, with just the hitting the shot and then just deadpan, no reaction. Absolute legend for that. The final one on my list, I'm going to be going back a few more years. Give me from 2006, Kobe Bryant versus the Phoenix Suns, the old fist pump game winner. And I believe that was in the Western Conference semis in the playoffs, or not sure if that was in the playoff.
I think it was.
Let me just check real quick. Yeah. This was in game 4 against the Suns in the playoffs, and just a huge shot from Kobe. I think, to me, possibly his most iconic game winner out of all the ones he's ever hit. And at the buzzer, I mean, just gets over to the right elbow, and the rest is history.
God. I've got a couple of shots listed down here that I was thinking of taking, but you mentioned deadpan reaction, and there's one game-winning buzzer beater shot that has to be on here. Give me Derrick Rose. Game-winning shot. That reaction was just perfect for that shot. I mean,
I was debating between that one and the Kobe one.
Complete no sell of the shot, just like he didn't care. Definitely one of the coldest game winners I've ever seen. But also on my list was LeBronto, his game winner over the Raptors. Dwayne Wade's final buzzer beater against the Warriors, like that weird double pump.
Yeah, that was a good one. And that was like during his farewell tour as well.
It was like his last game winner. And we mentioned it earlier, the Westbrook MVP buzzer beater was also on my list.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, Brian.
Yeah.
So who do you think won? You have two Michael Jordan shots. Steve Kerr, and then a Robert Horry. So you can see the generational difference. I think all of Zach's were within like the last couple of years. No, you have the Dame.
I have the Rockets. You have the Thunder. There's 2 Dame shots on here.
I at least dug back a little bit into the early 2000s. I think it's close. I mean, we all got quite a few good shots on here. I'm surprised that Brian didn't end up taking Devontae Graham with his last one.
He's on my list, but then I was like, oh, Big Shot Bob has to be taken.
Yeah,
and I was worried you guys wouldn't.
No, that was a great pick. I think out of the ones I had left on my list, I probably would have taken Robert Horry if I didn't remember D Rose.
My next one was either Derek Fisher, like his one over the Spurs,
yeah.
Or I really was considering the which one was it? Carmelo Anthony versus the Bulls in MSG when he hit like the back-to-back daggers. Like that was.
Oh,
that
you
was
know
pretty
what?
special.
You know what else would have been a good game-winning shot for this list? Ray Allen in the corner for Miami.
Yeah, I thought about that one too.
Rebound by Bosch, back out to Allen. His
Yeah.
three-quarter.
I guess I didn't think of that because I had like 6 seconds left when he.
No,
hit
I
it.
know. I don't like. That was a game-winning shot, and that's kind of in the same vein as Kyrie's 2016 shot. Yes,
yeah,
shot
that
won the
one. That
game,
one
but,
too. Like there
like-
was a
like-
whole possession after it that
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It's kind of. I think all of mine are buzzer beaters, and that's kind of the theme I was going for.
The bang bang Curry actually had 0.6 left on the clock.
Oh, ooh, but yeah.
Sorry. All right. That was good. It was a lot of fun. That's all for today's edition of Pass the Rock. We'll be back on this coming Monday. Anybody else? We are excited to be starting up our Madden franchise this week. So if you haven't joined already, you should get in there. Brian, you might have to hop in at some point. The Saints are still up for grabs, so you never know.
I'll get Eli to register.
Yeah, definitely. All right. That's going to be all for today. We'll see you guys on Monday. Let me find the outro and peace.
Diggy on the